Humans have been present on Earth for thousands and millions of years, leaving behind their remnants at various places. By looking at the relics of these ancient humans, modern humans are now convinced that wherever humans settled, they built incredible structures with their skills, which remain astonishing today. Among these ancient ruins are magnificent constructions known as the 7 ancient wonders of the world. What are these ancient marvels? Where are they located? Do they still exist or not? Who built them? Why? When? And how? All this information will be shared with you in this video. The first question that must have come to your mind is how the 7 wonders were selected from these thousands of years old constructions. So, this list of the 7 ancient wonders was compiled more than 2,000 years ago, in the era before Christ, by famous and credible Greek historians, and modern man also recognizes the same list of the 7 wonders as the ancient wonders of the world. Let's now take a look at these 7 marvels. Lighthouse of Alexandria. It was built near the historic island of Pharos, off the coast of Alexandria, Egypt, is considered the first lighthouse in the world. This lighthouse was built in 280 BC during the reign of Ptolemy II. It helped guide commercial ships through the seas. During the day, the reflective metal on the tower would reflect the sunlight, signaling its direction from miles away, while at night, fire was lit on it. It is said that due to this light, the lighthouse could be seen from 35 to 50 miles away. Its height, according to some accounts, was 380 feet, while others claim it was 350 feet. Primarily, it had 3 parts. The lowest part was square, with large rooms built on it. The second part was octagonal, with balconies for tourists to enjoy the sea views. The topmost part was cylindrical, where a fire was lit to guide the ships. A 16-foot-tall statue was also installed on top, believed to be either of Alexander the Great or a Greek emperor. This minaret of light was badly damaged by an earthquake in the 10th century AD. Then this minaret was completely destroyed by severe earthquakes in the 14th century. In the 15th century, Sultan Seyf-ud-Din built a fort at the same place. The remains of the minaret were also used in this fort. This fort still exists in the same place in Alexandria, Egypt, and the remains of the minaret can be seen in it. Colossus of Rhodes. It was built between 295 and 280 BC. It stood at the port of Rhodes in Greece, and was created by the Greek sculptor Charis. This statue was made of stone, with its exterior covered in bronze and iron. A myth about it claims that the statue's legs spanned across the harbor, allowing ships to pass beneath it. However, modern science suggests it was placed on a base on the shore, with its legs together. This statue was 110 feet tall, but it didn't last a century. It was severely damaged by an earthquake in 224 BC. The remains of the statue lay on the site for 800 years, leaving visitors astonished at its ruined state. In the 7th century AD, during the Umayyad Caliphate's expansion, the bronze and iron remnants were taken to Syria on 900 camels. Temple of Artemis. The temple, located in Ephesus, present-day Turkey, was built in 550 BC by King Croesus. The temple was about 425 feet long, 225 feet wide, and 60 feet high, with 127 columns. It was regarded as one of the most beautiful buildings, and the famous Greek historian Herodotus also mentioned its splendor. This temple was destroyed and rebuilt several times. The first time it was set on fire by a man named Herostratus in 356 BC. When he was arrested and asked why he did it, he claimed it was to ensure his name would live on in history. Legend has it that on the same night the temple was burned, Alexander the Great was born. Later, Alexander ordered its reconstruction, though it was not completed during his lifetime. In the 3rd century AD, the temple was severely damaged by Germanic invaders, and in the early 5th century AD, it was destroyed by Christian priests and never rebuilt. Today, the remains of this temple can be seen in the town of Selçuk, Turkey. It was built in memory of King Mausoleum by his wife, Queen Artemisia, after his death in the 4th century BC in the city of Halicarnassus, which is now known as Bodrum in modern-day Turkey. This white marble mausoleum was once a magnificent building, measuring 125 feet long, 104 feet wide, and 134 feet tall. It stood on a stepped base, with 36 columns above, topped by a pyramid-shaped roof. Unfortunately, earthquakes in the 13th century destroyed this wonder. And today only ruins remain, some of which were used in the walls of Bodrum Castle. Parts of the mausoleum are preserved in a museum in London. Statue of Zeus. It was constructed in 430 BC by the famous architect Phidias in Olympia, Greece, the site of the ancient Olympic Games. This statue took about 8 years to complete and was placed in a temple. In 426 AD, after the rise of Roman emperors, Christian priests ordered the temple's demolition. The statue was moved to Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, where it was destroyed by fire 50 years later. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, built in Iraq during the reign of Bakhtinazar II in 655 to 662 BC, the hypothesis about these gardens of Babylon is that these gardens were suspended in the air above the ground, but historians have rejected this incredible hypothesis. According to a British historian, these gardens were built on the walls of the royal palace and were not actually suspended, but were raised gradually in the form of large stairs and reached up to 350 feet. It is said that these gardens never existed. The famous Greek historian Halicarnassus, who is also known as the father of history, did not mention these gardens anywhere. While some other Greek historians believe that these gardens existed and were destroyed by an earthquake in the 1st century AD. Great Pyramid of Giza. In Egypt, it is one of the most ancient and impressive structures built by humans. These pyramids served as tombs for the pharaohs, and the largest and oldest of them is known as the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is estimated to have been built around 2700 BC and was the tallest building in the world for nearly 4,000 years. Initially, its height was 482 feet, but due to erosion, it now stands at around 450 feet. The base of the pyramid covers 13 acres, with each side measuring 755 feet. Approximately 2.3 million stone blocks were used in its construction, each weighing between 2.5 and 3 tons, with some stones even heavier. The precision in placing the stones is such that even a plastic card cannot be inserted between them. Inside the pyramid, 3 chambers have been discovered. The Great Pyramid is the only one of the 7 wonders that still exists today. The pyramids located at Giza in Egypt, or the 3 pyramids in pyramid shape, are considered among the oldest constructions of mankind. These pyramids are known as the tombs of the pharaohs, and among them the oldest, largest, and tallest pyramid is called the Great Pyramid of Giza. This pyramid is also referred to as Cheops. The Pyramid of Giza is the largest and oldest of the Egyptian pyramids, and for nearly 4,000 years it remained the tallest building in the world. Its construction is believed to date back to around 2700 BC. At one time, its height was 482 feet, but due to weathering and the upper part eroding away, its current estimated height is around 450 feet. Its length on all 4 sides is 755 feet, and its total area covers 13 acres. Approximately 2.3 million stone blocks were used in its construction, each weighing around 2.5 to 3 tons, with some stones being even heavier. According to one study, the total weight of the blocks used in this pyramid could be as much as 5.7 million tons. The astonishing fact is that these stones were placed with such precision and craftsmanship that it is difficult to insert an ordinary plastic card into the gap between 2 stones. So far, 3 chambers or rooms have been discovered inside the pyramid. The foundation of pyramid is square, while its sides are triangular. These triangular sides meet at a point at the top. The Pyramid is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It is the only one of these ancient wonders that still exists, despite the passage of thousands of years.